Hello, my fellow Nigerians. Hey, Nigeria is in a big mess. Says even Abacha was more accessible than Tinubu by omeiza Ajayi. Former National Vice Chairman, Northwest of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, Salihu Mo Lukman, has called on former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo and Ibrahim Babangida, as well as retired General Aliyu Gusau, to innovate strategies that could displace the APC from power in 2027, saying Nigerians are currently facing an existential crisis because the nation's democracy is in the intensive care unit, ICU. Lukman, in a statement issued Tuesday in Abuja, was reacting to media reports of Sunday's meeting of the trio in Minna, Niger State, recalling how on August 13, 2024, the National Council of State had met and passed a vote of confidence on the President Bola Tinubu. Lukman said the absence of Obasanjo and Babangida may not have been a coincidence, and wondered whether Sunday's meeting in Minna suggests registering any form of disagreement with the confidence vote passed on Tinubu on August 13. He said although Obasanjo and Babangida's interventions in the polity may have in one way or the other contributed to getting Nigeria to its current messy situation, they owe it a duty to Nigerians to bring back the country from the ICU. For instance, the political practices that are responsible for the erosion of political competition in political parties in Nigeria could be traceable to the tenure of former President Obasanjo, the policy of a structural adjustment program under former military president could have been the source of inspiration for President Asiwaju Tinubu's impulsive and unplanned policies. Although, to be fair to former military president Babangida, to use Chidi Amuta's words, he balanced compassion and hard policy choices to the extent of contributing to get Nigeria to the current messy situation. These leaders owe a responsibility to the nation to take it out of the ICU. Getting Nigeria democracy out of the ICU is a function of ability to serve, to revive, restore, and strengthen democratic structures in the country, which is dependent on ability to create at least a functional political party that would allow for political competition within its structures and by extension in the country. This should not just be about identifying and promoting a candidate who will emerge as a candidate in any of the registered parties. Once the approach is limited to producing a candidate, the potential of falling in a legal bobby trap imposed by the manipulative activities of President Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and the APC is high. Part of the legal body trap is that the potential candidate may be produced by a leadership faction of a political party, which will throw the party and the candidate in court cases that will undermine electoral viability. The other challenge is that producing a candidate may not guarantee corresponding commitment by elected leaders to honor their campaigns promised and be accountable to Nigerians. For elected leaders to come with corresponding commitment to honor campaign promises and be accountable to Nigerians require the existence of a strong political party whose organs will meet as prescribed by the party's constitution. Above all, the profile of the leadership of the party should be at the minimum equivalent to the elected leadership of the country. A situation whereby party leadership are below the profile of elected leaders is injurious to Nigerian democracy and will retain it in the ICU. Therefore, if former President Obasanjo, former military President Babangida, former head of state Abdulsalam, and retired General Gusau are truly committed to rescuing Nigerian democracy and get it out of ICU, they should facilitate a deeper engagement of political leaders in the country, he stated. Lukman also drew comparison between President Tinubu and late head of state. The comparison between President Tinubu and the late head of state, General Sani Abacha, declaring that the latter was even more accessible. More than any time in the history of Nigeria, citizens are being impoverished on an alarming scale. Since May 29, 2023, when President Asiwaju Bola Mohammed Tinubu took over, it has been a downward slide for Nigerians. Being a democratic government, the expectation would have been that President Tinubu will be more accessible. Alas, he is proven to be the most inaccessible leader of Nigeria. Even late General Sani Abacha was by far more accessible. All previous military governments are turning out to be much more open to consultations and receptive to recommendations from Nigerians than the government of President Bola Tinubu. As President of the Federal Republic, President Asiwaju Tinubu is showing his worst side. Some of the key projects of the last government have been abandoned. A good example is Kaduna-Abuja Road, which is becoming a death trap, but without any budgetary provision. A new project of more than 15 trillion naira, Lagos up to Calabar Coastal Highway, started. Meanwhile, public investment towards addressing the challenges of insecurity is at best business as usual, and the crisis of insecurity is reduced to ceremonial show of shame and public lamentations by leaders, he stated. You see, my people, this is what we are saying, that Nigerians should stand up for their right. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now behaving like a dictator, but we, the Nigerians, we have to stand up for our right. See what is happening to Bello now. Bello claiming that he's in all and all running up and down from the Efcc. Now he's now currently in the hand of the Efcc. The Economic and the Financial Crimes Commission has debunked former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello claim of voluntary surrendering, stating that he was arrested by operatives in Lokoja at midnight Currently, Bello is being held at the Efcc headquarters in Abuja, facing a 19-count charge of money laundering amounting to 80 billion naira. The former governor has repeatedly failed to appear in court since the commencement of the case in April 2024 at the Federal High Court, Abuja. A reliable source within the EFCC revealed that Bello was trailed and apprehended by operatives in the early hours of the morning. This contradicts Bello's statement released on Wednesday, claiming he voluntarily honored the EFCC invitation. Bello's media office stated that the former governor decided to cooperate with the EFCC after consulting with his family, legal team, and political allies. He said he sought to enforce his fundamental human rights and ensure due process, which the EFCC said all are lies. My people, you see what is happening to all these politicians? They will embezzle and be running up and down, telling lies here and there. In your comment section, say your opinion and subscribe, share to this channel. Love and like. God bless Nigeria. Thanks and God bless. Amen.